Shabbat Shalom and welcome to this week's installation of a Bisselle Torah. A Bisselle Torah is rendered from the Yiddish into English as a little Torah, and that's precisely what we try to do each week, presenting you with a little bit of Torah, just a portion, a fragment of it that somehow relates to our lives, will hopefully enhance our lives too with the study of Torah and give us more meaning when we arrive at services in Shabbat to listen to the Torah being read and understanding of what is going on. We're reading a brand new book this week. It's called Vayikra in Hebrew. It's called Leviticus in English. The name of the Torah portion is Vayikra. The name of the book is Vayikra as well. So the name of the Torah portion and the name of the entire book is the same. In this book that we're opening up today, the word Vayikra, which is again the first word of the Torah portion, the opening passage, ends with the letter Aleph. And when we open up the Torah to read it this weekend, the Shabbat, we'll find that the last letter, that Aleph, is smaller than all the other letters of that same word. Indeed, all the other letters that surround it. One wonders, why is it that the Aleph is smaller than all the other letters? You'll remember that Moses is the stenographer. Moses is the one who listens to God's dictation and takes it all down dutifully in the scroll, writing every word down that is uttered. According to the Masorah, as Moses is taking the dictation from God, he decides, of his own volition, to make the Aleph smaller than all the other letters. Why would that be? Because when the Aleph is smaller, you tend to not see it. And if you don't see it and you take the Aleph off, it translates into another word, Vayikra. And he kind of recognized or called unto him. There wasn't an intimate relationship, Moses is trying to say, that is special between myself and God. In other words, we're all equal. Don't treat me as better, greater, closer to God than anybody else. We are all equal. We all have equal access to God, and God has equal access to us. He treats us the same, and we should treat God much in the same way. Nobody is better than another. Nobody, because they have more possessions, because they have more money, because they've got more learning, because they have more anything. Nobody is better. Everybody is integral to the world. And that's why Moshe is called Ish Anav. He's called a humble man. Because of this, he makes the Aleph smaller to show it's not all about me. It's about us. It's about our community. It's about our development. It's about our past. It's about our present. And it's about our future. To recognize that we all have a place, a valuable place in this world that nobody else can approximate. We are needful in this world. One other thought is the word Vayikra again means, and he called, and one of the sages ask, why is it that God called Moses before speaking to him? There are many answers to the question, but one facet I'd like to point out is that Moshe Rabbenu, Moses our teacher, heard God because he was attuned to God's voice and wanted to hear the voice of God speaking to him. According to our sages, God's voice is continually speaking in the universe. God's voice is continually speaking messages to you, to me, to us all, that we can hear if we're willing and receptive to hear what is the spoken word. You are endowed with a sacred soul, a soul that is connected inextricably to God. All the time you are connected with God through this thing called a neshama, through a soul. And God speaks to your soul, God speaks to you all of the time. Vayikra el Moshe, and he called to Moses, and Moses heard, because he was attuned and he was listening. So maybe that's the second lesson that we can take away from this week's Torah portion. To listen with greater intensity to the word being spoken, even now. Shabbat Shalom.